Hello, my name is Deb Guthman, and I have worked in a variety of capacities within the deaf and hard of hearing community. I began as an itinerant teacher, worked as an advisor, and now have experience running programs for deaf and hard of hearing individuals. 20 years ago, I started the Minnesota Chemical Dependency Program for the deaf and hard of hearing, which focuses on substance abuse treatment. This was the only specialized program for this population nationwide. The reason I got involved in this line of work, and the reason I'm sharing this information with you today, is because the incidence of drug addiction and alcohol abuse in the deaf community is a big issue. I remember back to when I was an itinerant teacher, there was a student who still stands out in my mind because he was so bright despite the fact that he was isolated and only used sign language academically because he was in a mainstream setting. He did well and was always the top of his class. He was the first deaf student accepted into a large university's engineering program, and nobody had any idea that he was struggling with an addiction to drugs and alcohol until he was arrested. His parents called me seeking advice and names of programs for deaf and hard of hearing youth, but at the time there were none. Years later, I was working as a student advisor and our paths crossed again. The student was still struggling because he had still not received any services for his substance abuse in all of those years. We were able to find one 2-week program, but they only provided interpreters for a few hours a day, and so that was very ineffective. I became interested in, probably for the same reason that many of you are watching this training, working with this population, because I was looking for a program to help these students. We developed a program that specialized in deaf and hard of hearing individuals, and the same student I had worked with years before came and got the treatment needed from our program. There's a strong connection with substance abuse and students transitioning from school to employment. We don't have enough services for that population and need more programs that will make this a primary focus. You may work with VR and social services or at a college and may have noticed that many programs for hearing individuals provide substance abuse services. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, those who have a problem with substance abuse qualify for services. This also applies for deaf and hard of hearing individuals, but we do not see programs addressing this need. Perhaps you have students or clients who have mental health disorders and also have problems with substance abuse, and it is my hope that you will learn about the appropriate questions to ask and better how to work with students or clients who come to you seeking help for a variety of different reasons. There's a strong connection between substance abuse and transition, retention, and employment. Remember, you're able to help through the process of screening and knowing what the norms are. Also, keep in mind that there are additional issues that tend to arise, as I previously mentioned, with our students. We don't know what happens in their lives once they walk out this office door. Whether you're working with parents, students, or other professionals in the field, drug abuse or alcohol abuse might be a problem. This 4-part series will focus on 4 components. First, we will discuss the prevalence of alcohol and drug abuse, what research has been done, and what the risk factors involved might look like. Next, we will discuss the barriers that prevent individuals from getting the help they need. Third, we will explore assessment and the challenges this might present when working with deaf individuals. And finally, we will discuss possible treatment options that can be done if you're working with a student or client who needs help. I hope you'll learn a lot from this series and have a better understanding of what to do when working with individuals who need your help. Thank you.